Welcome everyone to Vermintide. Hope you all enjoy your
There's
stay.
trouble brewing in the Shallian Hospice, and I'm not talking about that vile swamp nettle beer the Sister Superior insists is a marvellous curative. Has the smell of chaos magic about it, according to Alicia, and she's not talking about the swamp nettle beer either.
Oh boy, have I missed this. Oh yeah, that's right. I am a Bretonnian knight.
I bet Lorna's onto something. Always is that one.
Press off, but with care. This may be a trap.
So, a little bit about the game, right quick, before we get too into it. This is Vermintide. It's a bit like the Killing Floor, but with lore. As with all things Warhammer, of course there's lore. The Skaven, these rat-like humanoid things, those things, have risen up to the surface and are trying to take it over. And it's our job to stop them.
Don't get cocky, we ain't done.
But a lot like Killing Floor, when you kill them, they like dismember and fly about the place.
Failed. But I suppose we should see where it leads.
So right now as a Bretonnian dude, I've got two different weapons, both melee. I don't have the luxury of a ranged weapon. Come here, you. Whoa. The hammer does a ton of damage and penetrates armor, but it's kind of slow compared. Oh god, what are these little things? What are these little things? Are these Nurglings? They are, they're Nurglings! So, for those of you who don't know anything about Warhammer, Nurgle is a dark god thing. And he has a following in the Chaos Lands where they try to bring him back to life. God, I love how that shield bash just sends him flying. Great crowd control weapon. And good blocking. By the lady! Oh, gotta switch to something heavier to get through these guys. Jesus! Damn, that hurt. Come here, you little bastards. I know I don't have to kill them all, but I want to kill them all. And yeah, there are times I wish I had my guns. The guns do a lot of damage. They are very helpful. But that lady's blade, the blessed blade I can use, is just too good. I guess if I had to compare this to a game, I would compare it more to Left 4 Dead. In the way that you actually go through an environment loot things and kill a bunch of enemies. There's waves of them randomly. Whoa. Bastard. Well, I see how they got in.
We get all the filthy jobs, don't we?
Fucking gas bag.
That's not how you use a shield, Ratman.
Follow the trail of corpses. That's wonderful. Well, we're finally meeting the Rot Bloods. So these somewhat zombified looking men. Whoa.
Rattling gun.
Rattling gun instead of a Gatling gun.
Grab whatever ammunition you need.
Yeah, they all have ranged weapons. I do not. I could play as the mercenary and have them, but
Looks like they go down.
the mercenary doesn't have a great way to get through armor and strike. Oh. The little bastard scooping that up from me. Oh well. So yeah, these are the Rot Bloods.
Fight me fair, brother.
Not to mention, for every few elites I slay, I get like power-ups and shit. Come on, you bastards. Oh, that's a lot of them.
Hey, nice dog.
Oh, I should have saved that for here. Just cutting through a fucking crowd of them. Yeah, now I swing quicker. Oh, you're a big guy. Whoa! And that's why I picked the Warhammer. It just shattered that guy's shield. Yeah, I was going with the Bretonnian longsword. But it wasn't punching through armor like I'd hoped. Stay back. Yeah. I see you, you bastard. Ow.
It's this way.
Where was he? He was right over here. Yeah, these guys all worship Nurgle, and so he infects their bodies, gives them viruses and shit, but without any of the downsides of having a bunch of viruses. Like, and I know what it sounds like having the viruses is the downsides, but like their bodies will be like twisted, malformed, and full of pus, and it won't, like, they won't feel any pain or suffering from those deformities.
Yeah, can't help what you thought.
Oh, that's right. I'm in the wrong
So.
here. You're wasting supplies.
Oh shit.
Be ready. Fighting warpfire with steel and shot is no laughing matter.
Ow, fuck you.
That warpfire rat won't give us any more grief.
The Skaven fucking love warp fire. Which warp fire is made out of warp stone, which is like pure chaos, like literal chaos magic solidified into rock form. And these guys wield that shit like an actual
Over here,
weapon.
quickly now.
Certain other beings really like warp stone as well, like necromancers and vampires and shit. Whoa! Have at thee, motherfuckers! I'll pile you up here in the doorway and just keep driving you back. Whoa, they're behind me too. Oh my god, they're everywhere. Fuck it!
Ammunition, Gordy. Try not to trip on these stairs.
That was rough.
See, Dory? That room means we're getting closer.
Oh, wrong side of the ladder. I feel like I'm getting worse at doing Let's Plays because I don't do them very often. So I'm getting worse because I'm getting constantly like, oh, distracted and like losing my train of thought and not doing good intros. But at the same time, I couldn't care less. I'm slightly sick. I just got done tucking in my 2-year-old. I'm just happy I get to game today. Alright. I thought I heard a rattling gunner, but I guess they took care of him. So. Down we go. Zero of 3. Open the doors.
Heard a tale not long back. One of the sisters of Shalia lost her mind, slit a bunch of throats and vanished into the wild. Lots of madness in the world these days. It used to be this bad.
Oh, behind us! Are they coming from behind us as well? Yeah, they are. I need a bomb. Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at this game. You know, being able to tactically use my environment like that. Shit, but we're blocked off. Here they come.
Watch them die!
Maybe the right switch next time.
Slay them, fire!
No more fires.
Sigma stands with us. A swarm!
Man, I pushed the button. Is there another button to push somewhere?
We've more coming, mayflies. Say if you must, but fight. So, how do you feel like that when mayflies? Or is the door open and I just can't see it?
Shit! I like how she calls us mayflies.
Globadiers, dead and gone!
getting them as they drop down. Okay, so there's multiple rock.
Ammunition here. The tide will not sweep us away.
Hey, I got one of the 3 doors open. None of the doors that matter to me. No. I don't know which buttons I'm supposed to push. Okay, I think I've been hitting the wrong button this whole time. I think it was supposed to go middle, far left, far right. And they send a wave every time I hit the wrong button. I think that'll be the right button.
It's about time. Even I was dying of old age in here.
Follow the trail of corpses to where? All this shit's still closed.
Look out! Rattling gun! The gun is dead!
Up, maybe? Ah! 1, 2,
This way!
3 doors. You know, I would honestly love to see a war between necromancers and Skaven. Because it'd just be a wall of endless versus a wall of unending, you know? With every Skaven that dies, the necromancer's army would grow, but at the same time, there's so many Skaven, it'd be hard for the necromantic armies to stand against the tide. So it would really be like a war of attrition. That's a slaver rat. They grab you by the neck and try and drag you off, a lot like the jockeys.
That's a fire rat.
Ooh. You had a tough time with it. God, just fighting my way uphill.
Come on, down here! You guys are fucked up. That's a good dummy, Dory.
I feel like he's just making up words. I feel like that's what dwarves do just to fuck with non-dwarves. They just make the fucking words up as they go. Like, oh yeah, that's a gazoomy doomy. That's a rakatatata. That's a riki tiki tembo. You know? Just, I mean, it'd work, you know? It'd fuck with me a bit. I mean, I don't know anything about fucking rat culture, or dwarf culture, I mean. Sorry, I'm in the middle of murdering a bunch of rats. Ow! Dick! Mm. Whoa, 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 whoa! Shit's rumbling. Get out of the gas! Oh god, one of my friends is down?
Stay together, stay steady.
Whoa!
Keep those blades a-swinging. On your feet, peasants.
Come on.
Let me help you.
Oh my god.
Reckon I'm done for.
Yeah, I reckon that too, bud. Yep. Holy crap. Rat ogre. Out of fucking nowhere. That's the first time I've lost. I've killed like abyssal things before in this. Like there was this horror thing in the first level I had to kill. That caught me off guard. One of my friends went down. I wasn't ready for it. Next thing I know, another of my friends goes down. I wasn't ready for it. Well, I got a lot of things, even though I failed. Well, let's go look at my things and my stuff. So this is kind of your hub world.
Hello there, and a happy geheimnis.
This is where you open your loot crates.
Keep your eyes open out there.
Halberd isn't a lot of use to me as a knight. Yeah, not a lot of that is actually useful to me right now. I will check my inventory right quick. Yeah, no, this thing's way stronger, so. I probably am gonna switch the hammer out for this guy. Better crowd control on this bad boy. Let's try that again.
Well, Helmgart's seen better days, but at least the Shallian Hospice is a safe haven for the sick. At least it was. Now there are folk disappearing right out of their beds, and that's just impolite. Lono, being a man of good sense, reckons we should take a little walk and see if we can find someone to discourage. Seems like a plan.
I didn't want to believe it, but my gut tells me there's something wrong here.
We'll have our answers soon enough, mayflies.
Die, will ya?
Oh, I could have used my lady's blade. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Oh, this is different. You guys were rats the first time.
This trail of corruption will lead us to our foes.
Good shot, Jory. Now let's have another. That's right, pure textbook. Here, ammunition.
Unit, Richard,
This assassin's dead. There'll be more. Bah! Grimly,
Oh my god. There's so many of them. Holy crap.
A lovely drop.
So yeah, this thing stops when it hits a guy it can't cut through, which makes it not so great as the hammer in like terms of like just smashing through hordes of enemies. But damn. Put him the fuck down, didn't we?
Madness seems mostly a manly trait to me.
Wait, the Pact Sworn feel empowered in the skull's presence? So is holding the skull a bad thing?
Praise be to the lady for relief from our wounds.
Some of the dead deserve better. Some worse.
He no longer empowers the Pact Sworn. Okay, so yeah, I'm supposed to crush that skull as quick as I can.
The sewers. Makes sense. These Northlanders worship Nurgle, foulest of the dark gods, from what I hear.
You should never grade evils, Crowbar. For if one is the worst, then you might be tempted to kinship with the least.
Right you are, peasant. This Nurgle is pretty bad, just like the rest of them. It's nothing, just training, that's all. Besides, couldn't do it without you.
Hush! Can't you hear more coming? Drawn to the size of your swollen egos.
Send him.
Here they come!
This thing does extra headshot damage, so as long as I taking, as long as I'm taking a little off the top. Honestly though, like, of all the Warhammer lore that there is, some of my favorite is the Bretonnian Knights. Because they worship the Lady of the Lake, who they just call the Lady. And they worship her, and her worship inspires them to do shit that normally they would never even, like, consider. Like, acts of heroism. That would be unthinkable, untenable otherwise.
Healing elixir.
Be careful! Gas rat!
Gas rat. I don't see it. I don't see the gas rat. Oh, there he is.
Back!
Failed gas rat. Death is too good for you. That's
There
it.
we go.
Waste our supplies.
Double decap.
I must keep mind and body hale if we are to triumph.
Body, maybe, but your mind's a lost cause.
Oh, I missed. Damn.
These stairs look right. Fire rock. Ugh.
See to him. Heard a tale not long back. One of the sisters of Shalia lost her mind, slit a bunch of throats and vanished into the wild.
Lot of madness in the world these days. Didn't used to be this mad.
He'll get better, Gorrickson.
Aye, maybe. But I can't help wondering.
I really like Gorrickson. There are times where he'll just start randomly fucking singing. Oh. He's an absolute bupper. Here we go. Right, then it was the left one.
Nicely done, Dory. How about the next?
Oh, so if you get it right, it doesn't open the side doors. Okay, that's a neat little... But if I'd kept getting it wrong, I would have opened that too. Ah! Damn, nice shot, lady. Run through the gas. I'm getting close to where we died last time. So, heads on a swivel, boys.
Smells a bit odd, but it'll be worth it. No, Bardi, not
There's a troll nearby. I smell it.
Isha, this is worse than I thought.
Oh shit. Oh, you bastard! Alright, well I completed the Slay a Monster quest for the lady. So things like the Bile Troll there, what does the tome do? Guys? I found a tome. What's it do?
It's scurry as loud as a drum.
Sneak rat!
Down here, Glaciate mayflies.
I've known many a scrape with a shield like this. Untied.
Backs to the wall! Come on, back it up, backs to the wall. Who the fuck is that rat?
To die. Eat my steel, gas rat. I hear a war parcel.
God, he's just going to town. I can hear him screaming from here. No, wait, I want the strength one.
Sweet Brownie's Lord! I smite your heathen souls!
Yeah, got one. Is he doing push-ups?
I get a leak from the
Meat
fire.
incoming!
Oh.
Oh, they're on the attack now!
Whoa. Gotta remember to aim for necks with this bad boy. I don't know if I want to go down there.
I'm not banking our
Fuck it.
direction of travel. Deeper underground, though it does.
This is a bad idea.
Good brew or not, that toast will be useful. That
Gas
rasping
rat, what's for
bread.
the throw?
Gas rat.
Gas attack!
Hold on, mayflies. I'm going to drink.
Those are pulsating.
That silly Doomy won't get from
Whoa.
now.
This way!
Another slave. The tally grows.
You're a bit tiny for my taste.
Nope, I need to hold on to the medical supplies.
Hook up! Kelly!
You got the hot rat.
Quit your yammering. There's a Chaos Warrior near.
Another battle, another scar.
Oh shit! Push against the tide! Where'd the tome go? Put the tome down. No! Shit, fuck. Maybe one of them picked it up. Yeah, Gimli got it. Not Gimli. I'm gonna call him Gimli anyways. Yeah, Gimli got the tome.
Steps, how we go?
Armored heretic! Fight for the righteous fight!
The Chaos Warriors!
That's a gas rat.
Incoming! Assassin nearby!
The Clementia! Look out!
Gas rat's dead! Turn back! In the name of
Ow! Fuck!
Heretics are cowards all. They hide from the righteous.
Chaos Warrior! Just what we needed.
That's how you land a hit from the maiden.
Hold on, some of us are hurting. Stairs, looks like they go down.
There is no escape.
Guys, I found the third tome.
kill the boss to win!
That went straight from the false moon.
Fill your pouches and quivers while you can.
Dead end, it seems.
Keep going! Here!
Here,
Gimli got
head
rid of his
down.
tome? That little bastard. That's why I have the only one now. I will not
Down
abandon
ahead.
it.
Leech.
Oh, he's up there.
Another life leak!
There's a runner in the shadows.
The backstabber is slain.
I don't
I've been
like that
looking for
sound.
these grimoires.
Every word laced with death.
Lumberfoots, can you not see this is the path?
Oh, that. That does not look good. Here they come. We have an advantage. We have the high ground. Alright, quick, quick. Quick on foot, light as a feather.
Ha! Really? Your ritual can't handle a guest or two.
Teach him some manners. You like that? Bloody leaders. I can do this all day.
I don't like whatever they're making.
Lots of movement here. Goddess, that's a gas move.
Pigma, it's going to blow.
There's only one of you heretics left.
We got the strangler.
I'm glad Adolf is here to see you. Worthless asses. Flame rod!
We shall depart. The Chaos Lord.
Peace out, my homies. I still have the tome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I really wish I could use a longbow, honestly, but for some reason the knight can't use the longbow, which makes no sense to me. I would have got even higher if Gimli hadn't put down the other bow. I know his name is Barden Gorkson. Gorikson, but I'm gonna call you Gimli. Leg a lot ass. Leg a lot of ass. And then just one-eyed Willie over here. Or Saltpeter, because his name was like Salt Pierre's or something like that. I could just call him
Watch
Saltpeter.
yourself. Things get a bit lively around here on Geheimnisnacht.
Yeah, Geheimgesnat is like their Halloween. Yay! Got a new piece of art. Kill a Packmaster, what? Abducting an ally. Kill a Rattling Gunner with your melee weapon. And then block the fire from a Rattling Gunner with your shield. Yeah. Kill a Bile Troll without it regaining health while downed. Hell yeah. Kill a Bile Troll without any party member taking damage from bile. Damn. Next is dodge a Packmaster's hook. Have a Warp Fire Thrower kill 10 enemies for you. Rescue an ally hoisted by a Packmaster. Shoot a Gutter Runner out of the air. Push a Gutter Runner off a pounced ally. Push a pounced Gutter Runner. Have 10 enemies die from Globadier poison. Kill a Rattling Gunner pinning an ally. Dodge a Life Leech projectile. Kill a Life Leech within 2 seconds after it teleports. Chaos Spawn, that's the thing I killed before. Without anyone taking damage, that would be difficult.
See, I know a little about Bretonia. Had a couple of issues with the Black Grail a few years back. Never heard of a foreigner earning the true Grail.
For ya, bloodlines, that's more like a puddle. Or a smear. Clear across the old world.
Ooh, got some good shit this time. Sigmarite Penance Ring. Power against monsters and attack speed. Decanter. Increase the duration of potions. I like that. More recruit shit. And then a blunderbuss. A nice charm and another blunderbuss. Recruit's longsword. A pretty damn good hammer. And a lot of other shit that I'm probably just gonna end up breaking down. Hit me with it. What you got in you, boy? Crap the lot of you. Well, I can at least take a peek. Damn! Okay, that's way stronger than the one I'm using. Bonus to stamina, to crit power, and crit chance. Block cost reduction, stamina. I think I'm gonna go with this Warhammer.
Thanks for drilling my lads, Gruber. Long on enthusiasm, but they lack experience.
And then switching this to this guy. Do I have a cosmetic
Seems
for you?
the ogres are migrating west. Better lock up the livestock.
Yeah, there's regular sword and shield. These guys. And then there's Bretonnian sword and shield. Which is these guys. I'm actually a good fan of this one. Very simple, not too crazy. As you guys know, I like, you know, simplistic swords. Ones that look like they'd get the job done without being superfluous. Because, you know, shit like this is hard to sharpen properly. You know. And all this little ornamentation down here, just gonna get in the way. The curled tops here at the top of the shield, I can see a benefit to it. But this exdented Sigmarian hammer here is just gonna get in the way. Same with this. Looks good, but it's not practical. Something like this, actually practical, because that skull is kind of like a central boss with all this. You know, shit's gonna reflect off of it, because it's exdented. A gap here for you to kind of peek through, you know, while still covering the majority of your body. That's what these are. They're also spear rests. Something like this, you stick your spear there, and your spear can sit in that little groove. Make it easier to, like, maintain a shield wall. But this has no central boss.
I've heard odd rumblings from Ulthuan.
Shields like this, beautifully done. You know, standard kite shield. Sword has a fuller on it with a good core. Beautifully done. Beautiful. Something like this. All the ornamentation's tight around the handle. Really good fucking crossguard there. A little bit of a flower pattern there. Not going to get in the way of anything. Shield's got a good kite shield design to it. Well done. Don't know what these are. These little bits of paper. But they ain't bothering nobody. Same here. Well done. You've got a bit of a divot right here where the sword looks like it gets really thin. I'm worried that would snap. This fuller here in the center, fine. But this bit here, if that sword gets smacked sideways, there's a great chance that little bit there's gonna snap. I bought this one because as a great sword, it's okay to have these little superfluous bits here, because this is not sharpened. So it has this wide guard, the second thing, which would normally be a grip, and then these hooks. This actually runs a good benefit to me. If I drive this thing into someone with a stab, that little bit there is going to catch on their body and keep them from sliding up the blade at me. Yes, beautifully done. This is a good sword right here. Thick pommel here, or not pommel, hilt. Bit. I keep saying crossguard, but I don't. This bit is not the crossguard. This is the crossguard. This bit, sword receptacle, whatever. I like how that's a bit thicker because that would fit well into a sheath and kind of like seal it up. You guys already know how I feel about the shield. The mace is well done. These maces, not so much, because they have a gap here in the center. It reduces the weight of the head, and that is the entire purpose of the head of a mace, is to be heavy. Funny enough, the heaviest looking of them all is the soldier's one, because it looks like it has gold inset in the bit there. Where this is just like iron or steel. But this is probably the best made of them.
I quite like this place, but the acoustics do amplify singing. Sigmar knows I've nothing against singing, but not first thing in the morning.
Very well done. Wonderful greatsword. No notes. It needs a wrap. That's my only note. Wrap this. They put rings on it. I don't know why you'd put rings on it, but they put rings on it. This would be an unfortunate handle, meaning you'd have to hold it down here only. And for a head that size, good fucking luck. A little better done. Yeah, you've got kind of a handle here. Most of this would be usable handle. This bit here is kind of like a striking surface, I guess. Like blades coming in. You can block with that area. This one's a lot better done. Much larger handle. I don't like how the handle's segmented like this. Like you can see where it bites in. That'd be super uncomfortable to hold. But they have a smaller blocking surface. The head is way too massive. That head right there, that is easily a 150-pound head. That right there is 150 pounds.
Roll
easily.
Up. Old Franz Loner has a few curiosities.
This one's probably more like 75 pounds. 75 pounds. But this is probably the best handle I've seen on one of these so far. The studs aren't going to stop a lot of blades, but they will keep the blades from sliding. You know, they'll hit and get stuck in the studs. But you've got all of this as a handle, all of that as a handle. Alright, this is the best handled one, because you've got a set handle down here. All of this that you can use, and a metal surface here. The only downside is, again, 150-pound head right here. This is that one-hand sword we were looking at earlier. Superfluous. Unnecessary. I mean, I get it. You're brandishing your signal. Like your logo, the Sigmarian thing. The little skulls and all that. I mean, I guess they serve a purpose. Like if a blade hits, it's going to hit that skull and get caught in this little bit of the crossguard, you know. As a sword sliding down your blade, it could hit one of these and stop or deflect out over your hand. So I guess they have a purpose. Best done one right here. Beautiful. No notes. Just going through every fucking weapon. This would be the most boring fucking video in the world. Just going through all of their fucking weapons. But I do want to touch on something that they do for, like, the halberds, right? You've got all this as a handle. You've got this as a blocking surface. This beautifully done, good crescent, no notes here, tiny spike spearhead. If all joking aside, this is a well done halberd. But then you've got this fucking thing. And suddenly I have notes. Because if this is your handle, and this is your blocking surface, why did you make it wood? Is it wood over metal? I hope. But still, why would you make that wood? And this? What's that there for? If you're trying to hold here and your hand slides up, you're getting stabbed. And the head has a big gap here in the center of it. Not a great issue, especially because, you know, the blade's going to be chopping down with this. Blade, honestly, no notes on that. I don't like the 3 spikes on the back, but, you know, what you going to do? Regular soldier's halberd is probably the... If only all of this connected, then I'd have no notes. But you have that tiny gap there, and it pisses me off. A lot of the other guys, though, a lot of the other soldiers, or like heroes you can play as, the ones who are like wielding physical weapons, a lot of theirs are way more practical. Like we'll just go with this guy for shits and giggles. His axes, every one of them. I mean, yeah, they're tiny blade because he's a tiny dude, but like, on none of these do I have any critiques. I mean, this one's a little superfluous, but they keep right to being functional close range hatchets. This is where I start having issues. This one? Nah, this one's fine. This one's getting a little weird. That's going to be a heavy fucking hammer. I could see this one working. That's just a metal maul. Handle's getting a little big, or the head's getting really small. Again, handle's big or head is small. Either way, you're losing some of your power here. Now, this is supposed to be a two-handed axe, but I'm looking at this thing like a one-handed axe almost, because if this was a two-handed axe, it'd be incredibly small. Alright, but like, these heads, I mean, that's a heavy head right there. This one's a lot better. This would be a really good, I could see this being a two-handed axe. Easily. Yeah, some of these later ones, but things like this, with these beards coming so far down, those are a risk to you at this point. His hammers, way better than the other guy's hammers. Especially ones like this, where it's just a banded rod with like a heavy head. You know? Now this one I'm not liking, because not really because of the faces, but because of these divots sticking out so far. Your hand could get hit on those. Using a pickaxe in a fight, I know a lot of people give it shit, but it'd actually be a good weapon. The only problem is getting it out. Especially one like this, where it has these junks in it. You're not getting that back out. Alright, that's going in, and if it even does go in smooth, it's not coming out smooth. Yeah, this one's not coming back out as easy as it went in. Yep. And then dwarven shields are actually pretty reliable. I don't like the massive loop they have here, because you're a small ass dude. But yep, and stuff like this, that's just off-centering your weight. That's just gonna ruin this shield for you. This is a decent one. I could see this one being usable. I could actually see this one also being tangible, because this pit in the center, while it is the wow, that strap is fucking awful. It doesn't even strap it to your arm, it just loops over your arm. Well, this is the center point is like the thinnest. All these little beards coming out are nice and thick and are gonna catch blades in them, so yep. I think I liked this chick's weapons the best.
Can't say I've seen Katrin in a while. Wonder where
Yeah, because these are leaf blades. They're very slender and thin. They're a little superfluous, especially in the handles. The handles get really ornate because, you know, elf. But I do like the leaf blade design. I do. I don't like the serrats, I must admit, but I do like how they did the serrats, where it's still thick here in the pit, because if that was thin to make the serrat like super thin, slicey, it would also mean that this blade is now super thin. So the fact that they left those chunked a bit instead of sharpening the inside means that these are gonna rip through, kind of like a chainsaw or a saw blade, and that also adds a bit to the sword's strength. Whereas, you know, sharpening those pits would weaken it. Now, this one's a lot better done. Minimal superfluous handles. You know, it has a bit of a bit right here, but I could see that catching a blade, especially with a dexterous swordsman. Simple pits right here. I would not use these as serrats. Not like this one. I would use these for catching blades that an enemy is swinging at me. You know, hit here, slide into that pit, and then like twist, and boom. Beautiful sword. No notes. You lose a bit of your cutting edge with this, where it overlaps the edge there, unless that's also sharpened. Other than that, no notes. Beautifully done. No notes. That's a bardige. And it's a well done bardige. Because the curve here pushes the meat into the pit there, and you're going to be taking off heads. Another well done bardige. Beautiful. He's starting to lose me on the handles here. I mean, I get the metal ribbing to make it easier to hold, but the fact that it pits in, out, in, out, in, out means sliding your hands on the blade is going to be more difficult, which with a pole arm, being able to slide your hands up and down the blade to adjust leverage is vital. The banding's only here on this inner handle, which that doesn't matter much. Blade's getting a little big, a little wavy. Other than that, no notes. No notes. As a greatsword, this one's almost perfect. The blade's kind of thin, kind of long, definitely more of like a thrusting longsword, but honestly, that's a great greatsword. I don't like serrets on my greatswords, especially this far up the blade. It's a little ornate, but other than that, has a nice wide crossguard here. Good length on the handle, solid-sized pommel. Bites in a bit here, but as with most greatswords, this is all negated space. Meant to be another handle, so you can half sword. I doubt the elves use it that way, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'll give this one the time of day. I was just going to skip it, because you guys have heard my saying on these half sword divots, but I'm going to treat this one a lot more like a messer or a falchion than a true greatsword. I'm liking the katana-esque blade. Thin, slight curve towards the tip. Good little nagel right here sticking out, this little crossguard bit. The back curls up, meaning that you're not going to have to worry about it hitting you in the wrists, especially if you're doing fold arm swings. Beautifully done. Great slicer, not a great like hacking weapon, but a beautiful slicer. Somebody with a very finesse-based style, going to do a lot of damage with that. This thing has no crossguard, which as a greatsword you don't really need, but I would like to see one. There we go. I don't like these deep pits in my crossguard. I don't like how it goes in, out, divot, divot, out. You know, with these serrets and all this. That's a lot of fancy metalworking. Truly, it is. Whoever made this would have to be a master craftsman if they expect this thing to work at all. And according to this, man, it does a good job, so good on you, but I would not use this sword. Okay. First off, your handguard has a lot, or your handle has a lot going on there. Handguard's getting a little crazy here. Not really a good handguard. More or less a ornamental piece. This would be a wall hanger, not a war sword. Just saying. Beautiful. No notes. And then it's just pretty much all the same. But now we're starting to get into like dual wielding some of these. Most of these are daggers, not actual swords. So the rules are a little different on things like this where it divots in. I don't like how thin these get. As a dagger, especially the way she wields them, you want something with a bit more meat. Something like this. Beautiful. No notes. Beautiful. No notes. Well done. Ah, here we go. We're starting to get into asymmetrical combat. You've got a sword with a dagger. And the dagger they pick is a nice meaty boy. And you guys who have seen my King's Classroom know that I like me some mighty daggers. That's a bad pairing, but you know, if that's what does it for you, I'll leave you to it. Not a terrible pairing. Terrible pairing. Oh, she has spares. Let's take a look. Honestly, it's going to be very head heavy. That is a lot of metal with not a lot of counterbalance. Got all these bits and stuff going. I get that this would probably stop a body because it gets so wide, but the width of the blade is almost equal to the width there, so that's going to get stuck in somebody. Beautifully done. No notes. This is more of a hewing spear. You would slash with this more than you would probably stab, actually. On that note, beautifully done, no notes. A lot of the end of the spear you'd actually want to hold on to has this weird gold here that make it difficult to hold on to. Your other handle's way up here by the pointy part, which, I mean, I get it. Some spears you can choke way up on, especially if you're using it with a shield. But most of the time, if the spear is your only weapon, you want to be where all this crap is. You want to be as far from that end as possible. Because remember, the pointy part is what's going in the enemy, and the further you can be from that enemy, the better. I don't like that these chain links have metal spikes on them. I feel like those would turn sideways and get like wedged in each other, and it would gunk up your chain head there. Alright, so these are a bit long, so that would keep them properly oriented. That head has got to be 40, 50 pounds. If you're able to swing this on a one-handed handle, first off, kudos, dude. You must fucking... You're pumping plates in the Temple of Swole. Secondly, you know, that's gonna fucking hurt. Again, with the spikes. I mean, I get that you elongated the chain to keep that issue to a minimum, but there's still a lot of spikes. The head, it does look a bit lighter, with a bit bigger studs on it, but it does have a clear face now, because even the head of this mace is now this side and this side are the face and tail, while the other bits are the actual sides of the mace. Which means you could theoretically lose some of your oomph if you don't hit him with the right part. This took that to the extreme. This has a clear head and tail, which are the parts that are going to do the most damage. And they fucked up their chain with like these clicks in it. So, honestly, they just got worse. Those just got worse as they went on. Beautiful axe. No notes. No notes. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. No notes. The width of these points defeats the purpose of these points. They are to spread out the damage from the head by pointing it into the armor. The way that these are spread out so far creates almost like a snowshoe effect. You know, like snowshoe hairs and whatnot. They're so spread out that you're no longer condensing that damage into the points. You're putting it over a wider area. You've lost what you were trying to gain. Other than that, no notes. This one almost corrects it. These look like they're trying to curve in, but at the same time, I would just view this as a better version of this guy. Now, it says it's a falchion, but this is not a falchion. This is a messer. Other than that, looking good, Johnny. Alright, now we're starting to look like a falchion. See, what really separates a falchion and a messer is the handle. This is a knife handle and a very knifey blade, which makes this a messer or a knife. This is a falchion's blade, fatter out here than it is down here. This guy, same size throughout. This guy, fat, thin, straightened handle, sword hilt here. Good curve, curves up so your wrist won't get nobbled. A little bit of dunty here. You don't need the one on the back. You can take that off, but the one on the front is a good idea. We're back into being a knife. Same size throughout. Knife handle. That's a messer. It's a good messer, but it's a messer. That's just a flamberge with a wire wrap handle. A pommel spike. I love that I'm seeing a pommel spike. I think a lot more swords could benefit from them. Because especially great swords where you might get up close and you can't swing, being able to pommel bash with something spiked would be a great way to take somebody out. The flamberge blade. Mwah! Beautifully done greatsword. You gave up your pommel spike for a wider guard, it looks like. Yeah, slightly wider guard. Thicker bit here. You've made it more ornate, but you've also made it less functional. So. Odd pommel cap. Way too much going on here. Other than that, looking good. Okay, what? You've got like a crown here at the bottom. A great wide handle guard, which is useless because your half guard is almost as wide with no gap in between. If you were to scoot this up a bit, like take this guy and put him like there, then I'd say well done, but... Alright, I'm not going to touch on the guns. I'm not a gun expert. But as for the rapier, beautiful. No notes. Alright, you're starting to get a bit ornate here. Now, I know with rapiers and other thrusting swords, massive ornate handguards were a thing. And I'm okay with that. That's like artist creativity. My only other note is that this sword is a sword you're going to be taking into repeated battles, not duels. And your blade is very thin. So, get a thicker blade. Alright. Less of a nonsense, you know, a bit more no-nonsense handle guard here. Looking good. Blade's still a little thin for taking into a massive battle. Not liking this bit. Because I feel like if you sheathed this thing in somebody, that could get stuck in them. Other than that, this large handle guard here, coming around the right side of the hand, looking good. Alright. I thought that was a fish for a second. It's not. I do like these types of handle guards more, the ones that are fully cloaked or caped instead of the wire basket ones like this guy. The blade's a little disjointed here. There's this little odd bit shooting out. Honestly, I think the first one's one of the better ones because the blade is noticeably thicker than some of these later ones. Got a good caped handguard. The blade has a lot less nonsense going on. It's very thick down at the base. Before slimming in, I think this would be one of your best bets. Ooh. There's a lot going on there. But it's all past the handguard. So it's not going to get in the way of the handguard. Might actually draw the weight of the sword to that point. Which being just above your hand is not a bad thing for a sword like this. Real thick here, goes into the blade, so you've got a nice blocking surface that looks like it's caped. So even though it says it's used more for dueling than battle, I think that is a good one. And then all of these are just crazy. The multi-barreled weapons, they're all just fucking insane. Oh god, this bitch has some weird weapons that I can't even begin to really comment on, because they use a lot of magic. See, that's hollow. All of these are like hollow, and they just contain like a living fire. Like, this is a fucking skull. But I mean, that's just a wavy blade. Beautiful. A heated blade. Now, the heat may reduce the durability of the steel, offering very little advantages. But if we're ignoring the heated part, all these daggers are technically viable. God, I am yawning a lot. Not a half bad sword. Handleguard's getting a little wicked, but other than that, the blade looks solid. I think these swords are actually some of the better ones I've seen. I mean, you get a little fantasy here at the end, but all in all, a wide handleguard, a no-nonsense blade, you know, decent-sized pommel. Yeah. Some of these swords are some of the better ones I've seen. Now this one gets a little weird with all this going on. But I mean, look at some of these gizmos. Beam staves. Oof. Flame storm. A bolt staff. And these are just the swords from earlier, but without the fire. So that is a rundown.
You used to think you were indecisive, but you ain't sure any longer.
Oh, I can see
Is
him
it me,
for
or are
something.
the Skaven a bit more
Oh, my daily
vigorous
reward.
than normal? I wonder if it's got anything to do with the comet.
I got 20 shillings. Back into the cosmetics, boy. I kind of want to get just a regular sword and shield. I really want to go with this one. I like this one the best. The sergeants. Because, like, I just can't get behind these ones. But I can easily see myself using something like this. Or something like this. Probably this one. I don't like these heater shields. I don't like them. Alright, well, one, that's paper thin shield. But two, just the small size of it. The flat cut top, I'm not a fan of. I like something with a bit more bell to it. A little divot so I can see. Boop. Boop.
Are you sure? Well, there's no accounting for taste.
Oh, feck off. Power level of heavy attacks. Critical strikes instantly slay enemies if their health is less than 4 times the amount of damage. Lords of monsters. Increases power level by 10% for 10 seconds. So my power attacks can hit harder. I can potentially insta-kill some monsters, lords, and enemies. Or I can go for I'm gonna go for this. Killing enemies increases power level by 10. Because as long as I'm wading into the enemies, the killing blows give me temporary health. And the amount, you know, I can get up to 30% more damage just to keep killing more. So, yeah. There we are. Fix the look of that. Yeah. Alright, I don't have time tonight for another one. I got class in the morning. But yeah, so I'm gonna hopefully get some friends of mine on and we'll play this another time.